Welcome to the drop, episode 2, long awaited. It's been how long? I'm with my buddy Zach, same as last time.
It's been a while. It's probably been like a year and a half.
If you remember what we talked about last time, we predicted how we thought the season would go.
And who was right?
You were right. I wasn't really even close.
Dude,
but
don't hate on my Lakers.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
We'll talk about them at some point.
Yes. What are we gonna talk about today, though? What's our main focus?
Well, today is January 13th, right?
Yes. It's January 13th.
James Harden has been traded to the Brooklyn Nets from the Rockets, and we're going to break this trade down piece by piece, pretty much, team by team.
Yes, exactly.
And just what we think, because this is a huge trade.
Oh,
God! Yes. I'm not gonna lie. The last couple seasons, there's been a lot of blockbuster trades, but this has got to be like the blockbuster.
Yeah,
trade.
This is bigger than anything in the past, like, probably 5 years.
I mean, like, technically KD was, like, signed and traded, but that's not the same.
Right. This is shocking.
D'Lo was signed and traded in the KD trade.
This is shocking because we had a feeling this was going to happen.
Well, I figured it was going to happen when I saw John Wall and Boogie Cousins basically say, yeah, we don't get along with James.
Right. Which is kind of what happened when you think about it.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I feel like they knew at that point, because if they didn't know, I feel like they wouldn't have been talking trash about James.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, last night the Lakers played the Rockets, and the Lakers blew them out of the water.
A lot has been said since that game. James Harden says that he doesn't think the Rockets, as the way they built, he believes they can't be fixed, and they won't beat LA in a 7-game series, which I'll agree with.
I mean, if you look back to the playoffs, he's right.
And they had a better team last season.
Exactly. And also, he just kind of dissed the talent that was there.
The whole organization.
The whole organization.
Now, admit it, he was like, I love the city, I love everything, but she's just like, meh.
Exactly.
It's gone to crap.
It's gone to crap, exactly. So we'll get to that here in a little bit. We're going to start with what the Cleveland Cavaliers got out of it. And what did they get, Reese?
They got Jared Allen and Taurean Prince, both from the Nets.
Yes. So what does that mean for the Cavaliers organization?
I think the Cavaliers just got a lot better, because what did they give up? All they gave up was Dante Exum and a second-round pick, I believe.
Yes.
Which is like nothing.
That wouldn't shock me.
For two very solid players, Taurean Prince I'm sure will come off the bench for them, be solid. Yes. Jared Allen, it's a weird fit for them because they have Andre Drummond, but realistically, Andre Drummond might not stay.
Right, and when you think about it, just the way Jared Allen played in the bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the way he performed in the bubble, honestly, in my opinion, I think they should start him over Andre.
Really? Just kind of phase Andre out? Because you can't play one at the 4.
No.
You can't have it. It's not going to work.
No. I think...
Not in today's NBA.
I think what they'll do for the rest of this season is they will put Andre... They'll start Andre, and Jared will come off the bench. Yeah. And I think...
But I think they probably just won't resign Andre.
They'll probably
let him walk.
Because, I mean, when you think about the trade as a whole... They didn't really win much.
Or maybe they trade Andre before the trade deadline.
They could do that.
And try to get picks or something. I could see them doing that.
There are a lot of shakeups that are happening right now, and I could totally see that happening.
Yeah. And Taurean Prince is just a nice pickup for their bench, I guess. Nothing special.
Yes. I think the Cavaliers won in a very big way.
You mean overall?
Yes.
I'll honestly agree with that.
Well, and also something to think about. No, that's okay. That's Star.
That's the cat. If you can hear it.
Something to think about is now if the one thing the Cavaliers have put themselves in a hole is because now they have 3 star centers, in my opinion. JaVale McGee.
He's not a star, I'm sorry. He's good, but he's a vet, though. He's not a star.
I'm just saying. They have JaVale McGee, Andre Drummond, and Jared Allen. So who do you trade away? Who has more value, would you say?
Andre.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's expiring contract.
That is true. Yeah, I could see them totally trading away. They don't need 3 centers. That's all I'll say.
No team needs 3 centers.
No team needs 3 centers. So I guarantee you they will probably trade one of them away
before the trade deadline.
The trade deadline.
Maybe not. Maybe we're wrong.
I don't know. Honestly.
But I don't know what their plan is if they don't.
Cleveland's been showing. They started out the season really well.
They've shown that keeping their young talent is paying off.
Exactly.
They have this great backcourt. I wouldn't say great, but it has potential to be great.
In Colin Sexton and I
Darius Garland, which I love their nickname, Sexland.
Yes.
So Cleveland is just all about Sexland right now.
Well, Cleveland's always been about that. Let's be honest. But yeah, no, I'm super excited to see how that plays out.
Do you think there's a chance in the next 5 seasons, for the next 5 years, the Cavs are actually good without LeBron? There's for once.
I mean, it's certainly possible. I think that they have to make some management moves, and also they also need to they need to get rid of their centers. They don't need 3 centers. I think they
need wings desperately.
They need wings.
They need wings.
I think they need to start going for winning now. I think that they have young talent, and I think the young talent is starting to show itself. So I think they're in the position where they can go try to win now.
Yeah. I saw a thing the other day. It's like it was some college basketball scout scouting Colin Sexton saying that he doesn't know anything about basketball, and yet Colin Sexton's here having a pretty decent season so far. It's just like, well, screw that guy.
Exactly.
Scouts are stupid sometimes.
Scouts are missed a lot recently. Have you seen the Miami Heat team? Let's be honest.
Right, because they're like half their players are undrafted or second round picks.
So, yeah. So I think Cleveland certainly got a couple of wins.
I will agree.
If
you want to say Cleveland won this trade overall, I'll agree with that.
I mean, they didn't have anything to lose.
Because I think everyone thought that the Nets would give up. I think people thought that Houston would get everyone. They'd get Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, and Jared Allen. They didn't even give up Spencer Dinwiddie at all. Although, to be fair, he's out for the season.
I would say they can't trade him.
No, you can trade him.
Oh, can they trade him?
Yeah,
okay.
but his value would be really low. But they still kept him anyway. So next season, he'll be healthy, hopefully.
I think that goes to show just the confidence that the Nets organization has in Spencer. Because didn't Spencer also go to the bubble?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he...
I want to say he was their best player in the bubble. Probably.
He showed up. I mean, so I could totally see that. So, yeah, I would certainly say Cleveland got a lot out of it. So, the Pacers got Karis LeVert and second-round picks. So, if you're Brooklyn, you're hurting. Your future is hurting quite a bit.
Yeah, you lost Karis LeVert, who, although albeit he has injury issues, but whenever he plays, man, is he good.
I know.
He's a blossoming star.
Yes.
So if he stays healthy and is that guy for Indiana next to DeMontis Sabonis and Miles Turner, that could be a really good team. I think
the Pacers got a star at just a younger star.
So basically, they did the same. Basically, they're doing exactly what they did to OKC. They stole a young star from OKC, but now they're doing it to the Nets.
They're doing it to the Nets.
But honestly, I want to say Karis LeVert has a higher ceiling than Victor Oladipo.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
If he keeps showing up the way he had,
because Oladipo, he's been hurt quite a few times. He's getting to the point he's gonna start aging. Karis LeVert is, I want to say, a bit younger than Victor Oladipo. Yes. So, yeah, I think his ceiling is just higher, and I don't think his injuries has been as bad as Victor's. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that.
I'm not sure.
But Karis LeVert stayed healthy so far this season, and he's been good.
And just the way he performed last year, he did a really, really good job, and I was really confident with the way he played, and his future is looking very bright. So,
and they got a second-round pick, which,
the Pacers, you could always use more picks.
Yeah. Take it from the Sixers. There's no such thing as too many picks.
Exactly.
No, OKC.
Oh, God, yes. OKC.
19 overall, 19 first-round picks.
So, before we get to the big James.
Let's take a look at the Rockets.
Let's take a look at what the Rockets got,
which
was a lot. They got what I don't know how to say a lot of these names.
Dante Exum, Rondinos,
Kuruks or something like that.
Kuruks.
Someone we've never heard of before.
I've heard of him. I know he's a pretty solid young wing, so he has potential, but I don't think he'll be anything great. I know who he is.
Right.
He's from somewhere in the Middle East, I want to say.
Okay.
Like Lithuania, Serbia, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Dante Exum, I remember he came from Australia.
Yes.
He was a top 10 pick, I believe. He was drafted by the Jazz, and they thought he was going to be really good. Mm-hmm. He was not.
Yeah.
But so far for the Cavs, that's where he got traded from, the Cavs. He was showing glimpses of potential to be just to being a solid player. Mm-hmm. So maybe they get lucky and he goes off. I doubt it.
Maybe. Honestly, we knew when this trade was going to happen, the Rockets were going to ask a lot. Just from the standpoint of,
I'm a bit disappointed in the haul they got, but we'll get to that later.
Right.
But they got Victor Oladipo.
And that's
the big thing.
And although it hurts to see James Harden leave, and you'll notice that for the rest of the season, probably from the Rockets. Yeah.
So when this trade first happened, the Rockets actually got Karis LeVert.
Right.
And then immediately swapped him for Victor Oladipo.
So which means that they've been thinking about this for a while. They've been thinking about getting.
This has been with 4 teams involved. This had to have been in the works for a while.
Oh, and everyone totally saw that happening. I just think I
didn't see it being a 3 or 4 team trade.
Oh no,
I thought it would just be a straight up.
I knew it would be big. I just didn't expect this. Although I told you this morning. After last night, Harden was going to leave Houston by the end of the week.
And I agreed. And I didn't think it would be the very next day, But by the end of the week,
I honestly, I didn't think it'd be the very next day, but I knew it'd be quickly.
Yeah.
Just with everything that he said and everything, the way he's been
so
acting.
much tension.
Yes.
Like, if the tension's that high in the press, imagine what's like in the locker room.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no way.
Imagine what the press is not seeing.
Mm-hmm.
So
imagine.
Yeah. So I mean,
what you see? The organization, they told James Harden to stay away until a trade happened.
Yeah.
So they were just like, don't even come to practice. It's
right,
like,
because he's been causing issues and stuff like that. So I think the Rockets, for losing a player of such high caliber as James Harden, I'm not super impressed with what they got, but
if you're a Rockets fan, I'm hurting.
Oh, yeah.
Because you've put so much into trying to get James Harden a ring. It started with Dwight Howard, and then
I hate Dwight Howard.
They ended up getting Chris Paul, and that was probably the best iteration they've had.
Yeah.
Because they got to the Western Conference Finals.
Yes.
They were a game away from beating Golden State. So that team was so awesome.
Yes.
And fun to watch, but just injuries, man.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks.
And I think that's.
Well, and then they tried with Russell Westbrook, and that was I'm not gonna say it's a train wreck. Well, no, it was a train wreck.
It didn't end well.
It didn't end well.
It did not end well. But
and so now this season
if I'm Houston, I'm excited about the trade or the picks because they got a ton of picks.
Because 11 total first round picks?
No, I think it's just 8.
8.
Eight first round picks, which is still a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know what years those picks are, but
4 first round picks. It doesn't say all unprotected, and 4 first round swaps. All
swaps.
unprotected.
Yeah. So if you're the Rockets, you have the next 8 years probably or at least the next 4 years, kind of set for picks.
Yeah.
And I totally anticipate.
The important part is drafting well, so make sure your scouts are doing the jobs correctly. So
I also totally
very important part of the rebuild process.
Yeah, I totally anticipate the Rockets will give those picks up, some of them up,
to try and maybe get some young,
get the youngins some help. You know, because it just didn't end well. So yeah, again, I'm not super impressed, by what the Rockets got, but I mean it's better than nothing.
It is definitely better than nothing, for sure.
And honestly, I think James Harden just started losing trade value after all the press was getting wind of what was going on.
Yeah.
Because teams are very cautious to be like, oh, I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
We don't want to deal with that.
Also, he's only averaged 20 points per game this season, but I think he just didn't care.
Right.
He's just not. But on the Nets, he'll probably pick up. He'll probably start to care again. But so I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you think the Rockets make the playoffs?
Honestly, I was thinking about this earlier. I don't think losing James Harden is going to change that much for the Rockets. I think like I said earlier, you'll notice the points per game is going to go down. You'll notice the defense is going to kind of because just like James Harden brought a lot. He brought a lot, and you're gonna notice him gone. But if Victor Oladipo can stay healthy, and can stay consistent, and we see some of these younger guys like Christian Wood. Christian Wood has had a heck of a season so far.
Oh my gosh, he's doing, yeah.
If we can see these guys step up...
Boogie can get to some resemblance of his former self.
If Boogie can not get ejected every other game, then yes. I still think they're a playoff team. At the beginning of the season, I thought they would probably be about a 4th or 5th seed.
Which is what they were last season,
right? Losing James Harden, I could see them going to the 7th seed. Yeah. It all just depends on, one, if Depot stays healthy and steps up, and if some of these younger guys step up.
Yeah.
And obviously PJ Tucker, if they decide to keep him.
See, here's what I think is interesting, is that I believe trade deadline is March 25th. Victor Oladipo can be traded on March 4th, so between March the 4th and 25th, he can be traded again. If I'm the Rockets, I say you shop him around and see what you can get back for picks.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's on an expiring deal, and he's probably going to want max money, and I don't think the Rockets can give him a max contract. So he's probably going to leave. I say you just trade him for picks.
I totally didn't even think about John Wall.
To a team that... John Wall, okay. I think John Wall is, so far, I believe he's averaging 20, and he's averaging 20 points per game.
Which, I mean...
It's solid.
Something to think about is, when John Wall came back from his injury, no one knew what to expect. He's been gone for 2 years. We don't know. He could average 20 points a game. He could average 30 points or 10 points.
He's looked good so far, but I don't think he's quite playing winning basketball.
No.
I'll say that about the whole Rockets organization. They're not playing winning basketball.
Now, to be fair...
Because I think there's this... Which I think this might change. Because they seem kind of disheartened. Which I would be, too, if your star players bashing you constantly.
Right.
I would be, too. But I think maybe it won't show in their play. But I think John Wall, Boogie, they might enjoy playing again.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure I saw John Wall say something like, "Hey, my priority was playing with Boogie."
Right.
Because they're like best friends. They went to college together, so they're really good friends. So they're probably just happy with it. Well, we don't have this loser James Harden getting in our way now.
I totally see how losing James Harden, it now removes.
I think it's good and bad.
Yes, it removes that barrier of chemistry within the team.
Because it sounds like now they can all.
Because it sounds like James Harden just not wanting to be there got in the way of the team's overall success.
Yeah, but now James Harden's gone, and things might heal.
So we'll see. So honestly, I'm excited to see how the Rockets turn out. So we've gotten through all the other ones. Now about the main dish.
The issue at hand.
James Harden going to the Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, man.
I gotta be honest. How screwed is the league?
I don't know yet. I mean, the offense is going to be amazing to watch. The defense may leave some.
I am absolutely terrified as a Lakers fan.
You should be.
If we're meeting them in the finals,
yikes.
That's a scary finals.
That's a scary finals.
That's a 7-game series automatically.
But here's my thing. I'll get to that, but I'll give you my finals pick. But who the heck's on the Nets bench right now? Jeff Green? DeAndre Jordan's got to start. That's not going to go well. DeAndre Jordan starting is...
Right. And,
is DeAndre Jordan ready to play 30 minutes a game? I don't think he is.
Well, if you look at the way that things are set up, you got Kyrie, James Harden, and Kevin Durant. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and Kevin Durant in OKC. Now, if you look at that team on paper...
I would argue it's better. Because they're not young anymore. They're all in their prime. And Kyrie is...
If Kyrie can just stay in the right way of things, then yes, it's a...
Because right now, he's going through some stuff. Now, we don't know him personally. Anything could be happening.
Right.
But right now, he's going through some things, and he has not been on the court.
He's
personal reasons.
He's been gone. And honestly, I don't know. I think Kyrie... the thing is, it's not shocking because it's Kyrie Irving. And Kyrie Irving
he's
pulls
always
this
been a
stuff.
bit of a wild card.
He's a wild card. He's the type of guy who's like... oh, well, I don't feel like playing tonight. You know?
Which honestly, there's a legit chance is why he hasn't been playing. Maybe he just doesn't want to.
So yeah, there's certainly that, worry of, okay, is Kyrie going to be all in this season?
Yeah.
Because it sounds like so far he hasn't been.
Well, I wonder maybe when they get to the playoffs, maybe he'll.
You've noticed
Maybe he'll flip a switch to the playoffs.
I think in order for this Nets team to succeed, they need all three: Kyrie, KD, and James Harden.
Oh, for sure.
Because if you look at the points per game with Kyrie versus without, the Nets struggle without Kyrie.
Yeah.
And that's just a given. Kyrie is an all-star point guard. You're gonna struggle when you're missing your guy.
Because without Kyrie, who's their backup point guard? It's not.
It was Spencer Dinwiddie.
Not anymore though.
Not anymore because he's out.
I think Karras played the one some, but no more Karras. I don't even know who they're.
If I'm Brooklyn, I will see a lot of long games.
Say I think that if you're Brooklyn now, you look at free agency for some vets. I believe Michael Beasley is still available. Lance Stevenson, I think, is available as well. I know it's the meme team all over again, just on a different city, but,
Yeah, I mean, if you're Brooklyn, I think you still have a couple of moves to make. But honestly, I think they can do it. I think if they just fill their bench out a little bit more, they'll be all okay. James Harden...
I believe Jeremy Lin is still available. He might be a good backup for them if he can stay healthy.
Yes, I'm down for that. Actually, I'm not sure if I'm down with that. I don't know if I want Lin's sanity to go to Brooklyn. that'd be pretty terrifying.
No, that wouldn't happen. He'd just be a backup at best. He wouldn't go off.
That's what just this trade in general. That's why I was so excited to do this.
Yeah.
To talk about it, because this just completely flipped the East upside down.
Oh my God, the East is just screwed.
Because, and everyone's like, well, Giannis is still Giannis. It does not matter. I
don't know about
I was pretty confident of Brooklyn's chances to win the East.
Even before this.
Yeah. So now that they have James Harden, I could totally see them winning the East and sweeping the first two rounds.
Yeah.
It really just depends. Now, again, all this depends on... One, can James Harden be in the zone? Can Kyrie be in his zone? And can KD be in his zone?
Also health. Injuries.
And health. And also with COVID, everything...
COVID as well.
You know, James Harden is not gonna be able to go spend his Friday nights the way he normally spends them.
I'm gonna guess the Brooklyn strip clubs don't even compare to the Houston strip clubs.
I don't know.
Just a guess.
If James Harden,
maybe not the strip clubs, but maybe not the strip clubs, but there's the general clubs. The clubbing scene in Brooklyn is probably amazing.
Oh, I bet.
I'm not sure how much James is in the clubbing, but I'm sure there's plenty.
Oh yeah. So we'll James Harden just has to not make stupid decisions like he's been making. So does Kyrie. And Kevin Durant is just got to stay
I never
healthy.
thought I'd say this, but KD has been the most, least problematic one so far.
He's been the one that's been under the microscope the least.
Yeah.
Which is shocking.
Interesting.
Because,
snake.
Normally KD likes to be the center of attention.
But he's the one that's kind of I'm just going to chill. I'm going to play. Y'all do you.
Right. Well, and so, yeah.
And oh my God, can we talk about how Kevin Durant has came back from an Achilles injury like nothing happened?
Oh, yeah.
That's super impressive.
That's super impressive. I mean, that's the thing.
Because usually Achilles injuries either end a career or you don't come back the same.
They damper it, you know? And, I think Kevin, and, that's what makes the Nets so scary now, is that Kevin Durant is healthy.
They don't have Zion. We have the Pelicans, the Clippers game going on in the background, and I believe Zion is out with an inconclusive COVID test.
Oh, boy.
So maybe they shouldn't even be having this game.
They shouldn't be having a lot of these games.
Yeah, it's kind of snowballing, games getting postponed. It's kind of scary. Kind of reminds me of last year, but it's not all happening at once this time.
Right.
Because last year it was just this game's postponed. So is this one. They're all done.
They're all done. Yeah, we're done. So.
I think they're trying to do what the NFL did, just kind of power through and just.
I mean, I think it's a little bit more difficult with
because there's much more games and more traveling.
Yes. And I think that's the NBA has been doing really well with trying to keep them in one area for 3 games.
Yeah,
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, that's why you're seeing games play the same team twice or 3 times in a row.
And I think and honestly, I think it's good for the teams.
Yeah, because you get more
series time with them.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's be honest,
say you meet again in the playoffs, you're okay, we played this game, we played this team 3 games in a row before,
and we've won all of them, or we've lost. We
lost one.
Right, no matter what the combination is. I think it's for a lot of these teams, it's not going to matter because they're not making the playoffs.
Yeah.
But for the teams that do make the playoffs, I think it's going to be very good practice.
Yep.
Just for just for the setup and just for the way that everything is set up.
I agree.
And I think the NBA has been doing a great job. I know
they're doing what they can.
I know a lot of people are some of the players are upset with
the new protocols.
With the new protocols, but honestly, it needs to be done. Mm-hmm.
It's time to get serious.
It's time to get serious. If you're serious about balling, you will not ball.
Yep.
You will pull up your big boy pants and you will deal with it.
Yep.
So I'm super excited to see how this all turns out.
So I want to get to the real stuff. So does this change your finals pick? Who you think's winning it all? Because I know my answer. I want to hear yours first.
As a Lakers fan, it worries me because now if we play them in the finals, it's automatically a 7-game series.
Oh, it's gotta be.
And if I'm looking, since I haven't seen this new Nets team play together. Mm-hmm. As of now, I would say that the Nets would probably win that series. Just because I know, for the Lakers, they've had a great start of their season. But I know sometimes the Lakers can somehow forget about that in a way, kind of just be oh, well, we're already going to clinch the playoffs. We can kind of rest it up. What LA needs to do is they need to fight hard until the end. I mean, LA's undefeated on the road already this season. We need to be winning games. Our younger talent needs to show up. Alex Caruso, my man, you got to learn how to shoot threes consistently. But yeah, honestly, it'll probably change in about a week or so.
After we've seen them play.
After we've seen the Nets play. I mean, honestly,
depending on Kyrie, if he's playing.
Yeah, something crazy to think about is this could totally just go up nowhere. And the Nets could still suck.
It could just not work, yeah. There's totally a chance that they just don't gel together and they're they fall to a 4th or 5th seed.
Exactly.
Or 3rd seed and just, get knocked out in the second round.
Yeah.
Because, maybe that, not having a bench and having DeAndre Jordan as a starter and who's their power forward, I don't even know who the
power forward is anymore.
I think it was Terrion Prince, but he's gone now, so
right.
That could just destroy them and they just don't work.
I don't know. Honestly, no matter what though, we can no longer question, is Brooklyn going for a ring this season? You know they're making.
Who was questioning it?
I was kind of questioning it just in the mindset of, I didn't think Kyrie and KD alone could win a ring.
I just think it's really funny that if this blows up and doesn't work, it's the Celtics trade all over again.
Yeah.
They give up all their picks and future for a chance at a ring or two and get nothing.
It's a serious gamble.
And so if it doesn't work out and say KD or Kyrie or one of the three leaves or two of the three leaves, and then they're just stuck with nothing, and also 5 less draft picks.
Yeah, exactly. And the funny thing about it,
they just have seasons and seasons again where what are they trying to win or they're trying to lose? Because if they lose, it doesn't matter. They don't get a high draft pick. If they're trying to win, well, they don't have the talent.
Right. Yeah.
Because that's where they were stuck for what? Between 2014 to 2018.
You mean the history of the franchise?
Between 2014 2018 or 19, that's where they were.
Yeah. So I'm super excited to see how that turns out. Honestly, again, this just all goes back to the fact that James Harden has been a pain in the butt. James Harden, sorry, my computer's going off. James Harden has been a pain in the butt with this whole ordeal. And it makes...
Yeah, I think he most certainly could have handled it better.
Yeah, he did. You could just tell that he didn't want to be in Houston. You can tell he wanted to leave.
Well, I think he did genuinely love the city. I mean, he was hanging out at strip clubs every night. But I think it's just he got sick of losing.
Right.
He's what? Is he 30?
Yeah, he's in his 30s.
So he doesn't want to retire without a ring, which I think is a fair goal.
It's a fair goal, but I don't know. I just don't. I guess I just don't understand how, it's like John Wall said it best last night. It's been 9 games, and James Harden is like, it's not possible, it's done. So I think you're totally right. I think John Wall and Boogie are excited to see him leave.
I think, because now it's their team.
Now it's their team,
and they're going to have some fun. I think Victor Oladipo will fit in with them. He seems like the kind of guy he seems easy to get along with.
Yes.
So I think he'll fit in with them.
Yeah.
But
this completely changes the East. I honestly, I'm excited to see how it plays out.
So as a Sixers fan, we're not winning a ring this year.
I don't think it's happening.
I think best case scenario is Eastern Conference Finals, and that's a stretch. But yes. I'm back to the question I asked you to start all this. My finals pick is still the Lakers. I think they're still going to win it this year. I don't like saying that because I don't like the Lakers because you're a Lakers fan.
Yeah, no.
But I still think they're repeating this.
I gotta hang up a 2021 flag next to my 2020 flag.
But I have a reason. Here's why.
Okay.
So I think the biggest question is they have 3. I think the biggest question is they have 3 stars. The Nets have 3 stars. The Lakers have 2. Oh, yeah. Nets are obviously better. That's not true. The Lakers have so much more depth, and I think one of the biggest questions is who's going to guard KD and Kyrie? Because LeBron and AD are both wings. My answer: the same people that guarded them last year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because they had KCP, Alex Caruso, rotate on James Harden, and it worked out just fine.
Caruso's defense is just amazing.
It's underrated. He's a good defender.
It makes me sad because, that's why you don't see him scoring 20 points off the bench.
I do think losing Rajon Rondo will hurt because
playoff Rondo exists. I'm sorry.
Playoff Rondo does exist. He proved
as much as he hates it, it exists. It is a real thing, and we're going to miss it.
So is national television Rondo and TNT Rondo.
Rondo just does better when he's under a microscope.
He does better. Because he cares more. I think
exactly.
He steps up.
Yes.
And the game froze. That's nice.
That's great.
Alrighty.
But no, I mean.
But I think it does kind of worry me about who's going to guard Kyrie. But honestly, I think Dennis Schroeder will be able to keep up a little bit. And also, KD can just go up and shoot a 3. Technically do the same thing.
Right.
Again, so I think they cancel each other out.
Right. I think this just it all depends on what they look like in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
If LA keeps playing the way that they're playing, I have no worries.
And here's the thing: if you stop KD, Kyrie, and James, which I totally think they have the defensive potential to do.
Oh yeah.
you stop the whole team. Because who's going to score 20 points a game for neither?
Jeff Green.
It's not going to be Jeff Green.
Off the bench,
It's not going to be DeAndre Jordan and whoever else. Timothy LaRue Cabarro, I don't know how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
TLC, for sure.
TLC, yeah.
He's not going to do it. It's not going to happen.
We need talent. We need Talon Horton Tucker to go out and score 60.
Talon Horton Tucker, he's a good defender as well. He's solid. I think he'll step up as well.
And, like, that makes me excited as a Lakers fan.
So I still think the Lakers win the series this year.
Because when you look at this
We'll
team...
win the finals this year.
Like, I think LA has a better...
As much as I don't like saying it.
I think LA has a better looking team than they did last year.
They do.
Which is saying something.
Which is crazy to say, because they looked good last year.
They looked great last year. And honestly, I'm really excited to see Dwight Howard go. I'll never forgive you.
I still don't understand why he did that.
I don't know why he did that either.
I'm a Sixers fan. I'm glad we got him, but I'm just confuzzled by the whole thing.
Dwight Howard, I gave you my love, and you tore it apart. So that's not yes, important.
Yes, every time we watch a Sixers game and Dwight Howard is on screen, you do flip him off.
I get very angry.
I will back you up on that.
I get
every
very
time.
angry.
I believe you paused it once just to flip him off for a very extended amount of time.
Yes, I do that because I have a lot of team pride, and he broke that pride and that trust, and you hurt my city.
Yeah.
And, yeah. But no, I'm actually really shocked to hear you say that you think LA's gonna.
I do think they are.
I really hope.
I'm not happy about it, but I think it's just what's gonna happen. I don't think the Nets win this year.
I hate to be the guy who brings up Giannis. Because I feel like it's got nothing to do with this, but
for small markets, I really, really want to see him win a ring in Milwaukee, but it's just the wrong time. There's so many good teams that you just can't compete with, and they made the right moves this offseason. Mm-hmm. They got Drew Holiday. They almost got Bogey, but
Yeah.
But, who else did they pick up? They picked up Torrey Craig.
Yeah, and
Torrey Craig is
they
nice.
traded for they traded for Drew Holiday.
Yep, I mentioned that already.
Did you?
Yes.
I must have completely zoned out on that.
But no, they made the right moves this season.
Yeah.
But it's just that teams have made better moves.
Well, and
which is it's the vicious cycle. Like, oh, we're getting better, but so is everyone else around you. It's impossible to keep up.
So 2 questions. One, where do you think the Bucks finish in the regular season standings? Let's start with that first, because they ruled the East last year. Where did they finish this year?
Probably second.
Okay.
To the Nets.
Okay.
Probably.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that second.
Okay.
They could end up first, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's not impossible.
It would probably be a close battle.
But it also wouldn't matter.
It wouldn't matter. Because they'd end up still meeting the Nets at some point.
Yes.
Where do you think they go out in the playoffs? Because number one, I don't think they're making the finals.
No, I don't think so either.
I think they put a lot on the line to make the finals this year, and it's not going to happen.
Which really sucks for them.
Yes. So where do you think they finish?
Second round.
Second round?
Second round or Eastern Conference finals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think they lose to the Nets?
Yeah.
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 Okay. Good. I just wanted to make sure we were in agreement with that. But no, I'm super excited to see how the season turns out.
This has been an interesting season so far. I really like it.
I know, and only
last season was really good too. So it looks like we're getting blessed with 2 really good seasons in a row.
Well, what's scary is that we're only 2 weeks in, or 2 or 3 weeks in.
So much can still happen.
So much can happen, and I know it's a shorter season.
That is true.
But it's going to be so hard to.
No, LeBron could fall wrong and break his ankle.
Why would you even say that?
I hope it doesn't.
You're going to make me cry. If that happens, LeBron's going to come find you and punish you.
I highly doubt it.
He's going to get his boys and they're going to beat you up.
Nope.
So.
His boys. What, his sons?
Yeah, Alex Caruso.
Bryce and Bronny are going to beat
Who's my
me
little
up.
goat?
Who's my little goat?
Man, I love Alex
Can we talk about the Game of Zones got canceled?
I'm angry about that.
It's such a good show.
It is. It really is. Especially after this season, you would think they'd want to bring it back.
Oh my god, there's so many jokes they make about this season. There's so much they could do with it.
I know. It makes me sad that it's not going to be here.
Oh man.
But overall.
Oh, WandaVision comes out Friday.
Ooh.
We can't watch that together. Aw.
We can text.
That's true.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about
something.
it. Ooh. Did the Lakers played the Thunder today, right?
Yeah, then they won.
And they won by a lot.
By 29.
Yep.
I figured that would happen. I mean.
Exactly. So.
Blazers and Kings are on right now. Don't really care about that game. I'm gonna assume the Blazers win that one. Who knows?
Oh, I would put money on it. But overall, I was so excited to talk about this because this
it's just nuts.
It changed the league. It was nuts. it was something we all expected, but it wasn't something we expect to happen overnight.
Also, I just didn't expect it to be a 4-team trade.
Me neither. Honestly, I didn't expect the Pacers or the Cavs to get anywhere near this.
No, but I think they saw the opportunity and they jumped in because they both came out winners in this trade.
Oh yes, I honestly.
So I think Chaos is an upgrade over Victor, and the Cavs just got better overall.
If you take the picks
all
away,
they gave up was Dante Exum, who was doing a whole lot of nothing in a second round pick.
If you take the picks away, I say the Cavs win the most, or the Pacers. Not even the Nets. I think the Nets lost a lot.
Here's the thing. Because we have, I think, the solid proof the Cavs and the Pacers here get better no matter what. The Nets, we still don't know.
Right. And, like, that's a scary thing. Like, the Nets could have just made the best decision of their lives.
Or the worst.
We will not know.
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to wrap this up?
I can wrap this up.
Yeah, go ahead.
The podcast is sponsored by...
No, it's not. You can't do that.
The podcast is sponsored by Honey.
Shut up.
Put asterisks, not sponsored by Honey.
Not sponsored by Honey.
No, we're super excited to see how the season turns out. We're going to have to do more of these. We're really going to have to.
Yeah, you're going off to college.
Right.
But
we'll make it work.
We have Skype.
We'll make it work. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, stay tuned to see how the Nets either make the best and or worst decision of their lives.
When was the last time we did this? Was it last year?
It was a while ago. It was before the season last year.
It was during COVID, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, it was during
lockdown.
During the lockdown, yes.
So it was nearly a year ago.
Oh, my gosh.
So... If this is going to be the schedule, it's going to be, we'll see you
in
nearly
March.
a year from now.
We'll see you in February of 2021.
2022, you mean?
2022, crap.
But hopefully we can start doing this more and actually kind of, maybe once a month or once every...
Oh, dude, yes. Especially
like
if things happen like
this. We'll always have to talk about.
We're in for an awesome season.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyway, thanks for listening. Hope you all enjoyed it. We enjoyed certainly making it. We got so excited. We just wanted to share this with everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Stay safe out there.
Yep.
And wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Don't hug hobos.
Why not? Hobos eat hugs too.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. So, anyway, thanks for joining us. This has been the Draw Up. We're excited to see where this goes. I don't know why I'm still talking.
Let's see what gets drawn up next.
Ba-da-da-cha.
Da-da-da.